This is Sean Duffy for Sheen Procs on the Trinity Force Network, and I'm joined today by Zachary Aphromoo Black from Team CLG. And Zachary, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Exhausted from our C9 game that we played today. I think it was like 55 minutes or something like that. Also, it's really hot outside, so that just adds on top of the exhaustion.
And you guys were outside for, what, 15, 20 minutes trying to greet all the fans who wanted to come up and say hi, and you guys stayed out for almost all of them, right?
Yeah, of course. Most of the time, we try to get everyone that comes out to see us. It's really sad, especially if there's foreigners that come to see us. It's really sad if they don't get to see us. Usually that's on like CLG TSM days, just massive fans that come to show up and watch us, and usually we aren't able to get through all of them, so we make it a point to make sure we can do our best to get through everyone and make their day.
It's a great goal. So I'm going to go through a little bit of the game. From the start, you guys looked like you were in a rough spot. Usually you dominate the early game. Your understanding of lane swaps and the general early game meta seems to be on point. But High kind of threw you guys for a loop. Can you talk about what you guys were feeling when you noticed High just pop up in one lane and then 2 seconds later in another lane?
Honestly, during the early game, a lot of the players on CLG were greedy with their item purchases. So it's really, really bad, especially if someone capitalizes on it, and you can see that from what happened in the game. Usually our carriers try and save up for an item, but if someone does that, where they just pressure you harder and base before you, and are okay with their poor purchase into using it to have an advantage early, then it's really hard. So I'm trying to get them to make sure they base at appropriate times, but most of the time we can get away with that versus other teams.
So you guys might have just maybe underestimated them a little bit more than you should have, is basically what happened.
Yes.
Okay. Because normally you could have gotten away with that. You could have gotten away with that probably with the Meteos team, even when you guys actually did get away with it week 4. I watched the game a little bit earlier, and you guys were just as greedy then as you are today. So let's walk through the first team fight. You guys had a team fight up top in about maybe 8 minutes in, I think so. And it was really messy. I wasn't sure what the heck was going to happen. I didn't know if you guys were going to win out of that. And that ended up being the tempo you guys set for every team fight, where it was like watching a wave come in. It was ebbing and flowing, and you guys would choose to engage, disengage, engage, disengage. It was obviously a conscious decision then, but was that an idea when you guys were in the pick and ban phase? Do you know?
Yeah, we usually talk about our win conditions and game plan with our team comp prior to getting to the game. And also, as we run out, we talk about it. So how we wanted to play team fights, etc. And it was really about getting on top of their carries, poking them out a little bit first with the Zir. But we have Sivir to just throw our cannon into their team, as well as Gragas to start the initiation. And we should be able to, burst someone in a cannon stun. And that's really what we had to do. It's not really a good thing to play passive, and that's very apparent with other regions' metas and stuff like that, so we have to go in. And most of the time, we really had a hard time at previous seasons where we wouldn't have the confidence to go in or, make the play. So it was really good that everyone stepped up, especially Zion Spartan and Smithy, and they definitely took it to him, and I was really proud of them.
Okay. Speaking of Smithy and Zion Spartan stepping up, that team fight where you guys initiated perfectly on Incarnation and just blew them up, and the Smithy ult away of the rest of the team, the cleanup, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. So you guys were actually on your back foot almost from the get-go. I think you managed to pick up that first blood, and then you guys seemed like you were back in it, and then instantly High was just in your jungle, taking everything. You guys kept being bought on the back foot. In 28-minute mark, I think you guys were down by actually 5K, and then you initiated that fight. Were you guys nervous? Like, what was the feeling? Were you guys just as calm as always? How were you? Were you talking to the team, soothing their egos, soothing their heads?
It's very important to stay calm. So most of the time, it's me overarching other people's voice. So it was just very important that we were able to get that fight off. We blew Ori Flash, I think, a previous fight. So we had Cannon Flash, and we just needed to wait for the opportune moment to go in. So it's really important that I make everyone calm, make sure we set up for it, and go as soon as they are split or Incarnation is right in the open where we can just burst it. And that was what we had to do almost the entire game. and just really pay attention to cooldowns. Make sure people aren't really hyphy and start shouting blah 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 like in the middle of the team fight and stuff like that. And we definitely were able to come out on top.
Okay, yeah, you guys definitely pulled it out of the bag there. So I want to talk to you about the Ardent Sensor and the Zeke's Herald pick. It's still called Zeke's Herald, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if they're changing the name on that. That seemed interesting, and the casters actually touched on it as well. They were talking about how it really only buffed one member of your team significantly. I was curious, does the Ardent Sensor also work on Azir's attack as well?
Yeah, it gives him attack speed. So it buffs
Okay.
the Azir to give him attack speed, so it does work.
Okay,
I
so
don't know if the magic damage works though.
okay, that was another question. So were both of those items seemed like conscious choices just to get double lift ahead? Was that the main goal? Was that it?
No, honestly, that build is just for 40% CDR exactly. So I have runes that allow me to have 40% CDR early in the game. Most of the time you see Jannas go for Shurelias, maybe they'll go for Aegis, and usually they'll have 30% or 35% CDR, and it's not really an efficient build. And most of the time as Janna, you're just going to play backline anyway and protect people. So having 40% CDR, I have exactly 40% CDR with that build, as well as having the steroids for my carries. So if we had maybe 80 damage top lane, maybe a mid laner with 80 damage or a jungler, it would benefit a lot. And lifesteal definitely helps us put our 80 carry ahead of theirs because we're outputting more damage, and Peter is able to buy a defensive item instead of buying another offensive item. That way he can stay more tankier. But he's still further ahead of their 80 carry in terms of damage. So if the Callista went 6 items, Peter would still be ahead, but more tankier. So that's really just about the build.
Okay, so if I get it straight, the primary reason was to get you to 40% CDR ASAP. The benefit on top of that was because of you buying so much extra attack stats for Peter, he would be able to buy the Banshee Veil, which he got, I think, 35-minute mark or something like that. And that's really what allowed him to stay in the fights. He couldn't get poked out. He couldn't get flashed, W'd on by Maokai. So that was, the conscious decision. Yep. That makes total sense. Anything else? Do you have any shout-outs you want to give or anything like that?
Shout-outs to sponsors, Razer, HyperX, iBuyPower, Twitch, NZXT, and there's one more.
It's not G2A, is it?
G2A. Boom.
There we go.
Got it.
All right, thank you guys. This has been Sean Duffy with Sheen Procs on the Trinity Force Network.